Hello and welcome to Roanoke Hobby and Electronics. My name's Daryl, and today we're going to talk about buying your first Arduino board. The good, better, and the counterfeits. I was going to originally title this the good, bad, and the ugly, but I didn't want to offend anybody too badly, so we will get to some of the things to look for in a good board, some things to look for in one of what I would call one of the counterfeit boards, and things to avoid. So we'll start off. We'll just look at the original. This is an Arduino Uno R3. Um, Let's see if I can show it here on the camera fairly well. The Arduino.org, and made in Italy. This is the original name brand board. Part of what's happened recently is we've seen kind of a split between two groups that are using the same name and brand. We'll switch this out. As of July of 2015, the other Arduino, we'll see that it's Arduino.cc, are made in the United States. And there's also a newer logo here. The board sold in the United States will have Arduino, and boards manufactured abroad in other parts of the world will have Genuino. That will be manufactured and sold by this other group that holds the Arduino trade name. So we'll have a little summary here of some of the main differences. You have the original name brand Arduino. You're going to have what I would call the Arduino compatibles or derivatives. The design is open source hardware, so anyone is free to manufacture a board that's compatible, and we're going to look at a couple of them, and then at the last, what we're going to do is look at what some of the counterfeits that are out there. These are boards that otherwise would be fine, except they're putting the Arduino name and logo on the board and trying to pass themselves as originals. We look in the column here with the price comparison. The name brand Arduinos, what I've been seeing selling for anywhere between $24.95 to $29.95. Your compatible, your better constructed compatibles, $19.50 to $24.95. And then you'll find a whole bunch of what I'll call the clones. They're the same. They're Arduino compatible. They do not have the Arduino name on them. You'll see names like DC Duino, Funduino, Xduino, several different variations. And in the middle column there, the USB connectors on the boards, you'll notice, will be different. And actually I see a typo on the clones. That should be USB B type connector instead of USB A. But we'll point this out as we look at each individual board. And as a demonstration then, what we're going to do is we're going to plug the board in, and I have the Arduino IDE, the integrated development environment that you use to program the Arduino. And we're going to plug this genuine name brand Arduino in, and nothing's programmed to the chip now, so it's not doing anything at all. And we're going to go up here to Tools, and you can select the type of board that you're going to plug in, and we've selected the Uno, and select the port, the USB port. I'm using a Linux system, so this is how it shows up on the port. On a Windows system, it will show a little bit different. Interesting thing here that this reports as being an Arduino Uno Genuino. So it's reading the USB chip and reporting back. So we're going to just load up just the basic sketch here. We're just going to initialize pin 13 as output, and pin 13 is usually on most all the boards I've seen connected to an LED on the board. And so we're going to digital write to pin 13, set it to high, which will turn the LED on. We're going to wait. I'm going to change the time here. We're going to wait half a second. There we go. And then we're going to digital write to the pin to low. That will turn the LED off. And we're going to wait for a half second. So we're going to compile and upload. And now you can see LED on the board is blinking. So that's what the genuine name brand Arduino looks like. And what we're going to take a look at next is what I'm calling a clone. So the chipset is going to be different, and the major thing that I've noticed with one of these inexpensive clones is that you might have a little bit of trouble getting the right driver for this CH340. And it's getting better. I think there's more places that have the drivers that you can download it from. Looking for the documentation, most of the documentation was not in English, so So documentation is a little harder to find, and you may have to look a little harder for the drivers. But looking at the price, though, the entry level is a lot lower. And so if you're going to get a board for the first time, and or if there's a chance you're gonna try some projects that might be a little risky, might have a chance of doing damage to the board, and you don't want to put a lot of money in it. Maybe one of the clones are a better choice. So here's one that I picked out, and does not have any of the trademarked name brand or symbols on it. Just says that it's an Uno. Here's the chipset that I was talking about. That's the CH340, and it's got its own crystal here for this. And then the Atmega chip is the surface mount and the crystal, and actually some a few extra places to solder in some pins to do some different things. You've got your pin headers, and then additional pass through where you maybe could solder in some wiring. So some good flexibility with this kind of board. It's a little bit different, yet still the same. Flip it over here on the back. Nothing on the back of the board. It does have the pins, and some of the things I've read about the quality of the soldering might vary on some of these. So we're going to go ahead and plug this board in, and the light comes on there, shows that it is on. So now we're going to switch back here to our IDE, and we're still going to pick the Arduino Uno, but as you can see, it's reporting the port just a little bit different. It doesn't have that Arduino name, so it's not reporting that back. On this Linux system, I didn't have to download any additional drivers. It was able to recognize it right out of the box. So we're going to upload this sketch. And now we've got the LED that's connected to pin 13 flashing on the board. So depending on the system you're going to use it with, I'm using a Linux system, recognized the USB chip set just fine. I've tried this board with Mac OS 10, and downloaded the driver and got the driver to install without any trouble, and was able to program the board without any issue. So next, we're going to take a look at a couple of the Arduino compatible, and what's nice about some of these compatible boards is the company that has manufactured it has actually added some features to the board that make them a little bit more attractive and perhaps functional. So at the top of the list here, we're going to look at the SparkFun Red board. Uses the FTDI chip and a mini USB connector to plug in, and just a little bit less expensive than the brand name. I think still a reasonable price. Most of the time you'll see it around $19 to $20. And so here we have the red board and all surface mount components. So looking there you have a nice smooth board with no pins to scratch or snag things on. You have the surface mount at Mega, the FTDI chip, and your LED lights, and the mini USB port, and then the standard barrel connector for your 9-volt power supply. So we're going to plug this board in, and the LED on light comes on, and we're going to go back here to our IDE. Still staying with the Arduino Uno as far as selecting the board and selecting the port. Just like the clone, it's going to identify, it's going to show up there on the port, but it's not going to identify itself as an Arduino. And we'll go ahead and upload this sketch. And doesn't take long. It's a small little sketch, and it's even labeled. The LED is labeled for pin 13. I don't quite catch it on the camera because it actually loads so fast. But when you are loading, the TX and RX lights will flicker, showing that there is activity to the board and writing to the chip. And for demonstration purposes, we'll hit the reset button, and you saw it pause there for a second. It reset and went back to running the sketch. Alright, we'll get that disconnected. And the other one we're going to compare here is going to be the Adafruit Metro. Another completely compatible board with a slightly different design and a couple of extra features. You buy it directly from Adafruit. The retail price is reasonable at $19.50. So here's the Metro, and another board with surface mount components. So the back of the board is smooth and no pins protruding. Some of the extra features that are designed on this board, all the LEDs are on the edge, so that if you have a shield, and the shield is what they call the accessory boards that plug into the header pins, with a shield on top, you can still see the LEDs. If you're going to power it with a 9-volt power supply like this, they actually have added a switch so you can power the board on and off when you're using the external power supply, which is a nice added feature. So I've switched to my cable. This board uses the micro USB connector. And there's the micro. We're going to plug this in. And our on light comes on there, showing that the board has power. And I'm just going to leave the camera on this board. I'm going to go back to the sketch and I'm going to upload. And there we showed the activity lights then while it was loading. And then now we've got our pin 13 blinking, just like before. And still Arduino Uno and the port reporting just like the other boards. While we're on the topic of an Adafruit board, one of the things that you can do with the newer version of the Arduino IDE, I think since version 1.6.4, I think, they've actually given you the ability then to load in other boards so that you can configure the IDE for some of the different boards and the different features. So under File and Preferences, then we have this additional board manager, and you can find it usually on the manufacturer's website. There's a wiki page that lists all the other URLs that you can load. So we've got Adafruit, and then I'll scroll over here a little bit, and the ESP8266 boards, I've loaded that on here, and it's a JSON file that that lists the specifications for these other boards. So where you see that then is under Tools, Board, and then Boards Manager. You can scroll down, and by default you got the Arduino boards built in. If I scroll down here a little bit, we'll see the Adafruit boards, and it lists the different models and shows that it's been installed. And scroll down here a little bit further. Here's the ESP8266. And I click on that, and then I can go ahead and install the information for those boards. And it's downloading from that URL. And then if we go back here to boards, I should be able to scroll down, and I actually have to stop and restart the IDE, and then those extra boards will show up here. So that's a little extra there, talking about the boards managers. So that's the good and the better. I think both the and this is my opinion, but the SparkFun Red board and the Adafruit Metro are the very good choices at a more economical price point. The low cost clones, as I mentioned before, have nothing actually wrong with them. I've read a lot of things. You get what you pay for. Maybe some of the components used on the board might be of a slightly lower quality and may have some problems, and like I mentioned, maybe a little harder finding the drivers. So we're going to get to the last topic then for today's video, and that's going to be the counterfeits. These are clones that are using the Arduino logos and trademark, and we'll switch back here. And actually, just in the last 6 months, I've been noticing that these counterfeit boards are starting to get a little higher in price. So I think they're misleading in the fact that they even advertise themselves as being genuine Arduino boards. And the rule of thumb, and again, this is just my opinion, but if you see something that claims it's a genuine Arduino board and it's under $20, especially if it's under $15, I would suspect that something is up. It uses the same chip for the USB as the genuine Arduino. And we'll jump back here and take a little look here. And we'll do a little side-by-side comparison here. As you know, right off the bat, the color of the boards is greatly different. The other thing that kind of jumps out is the trademark, and the Uno is different. See if I can show it here on the camera. It says Arduino.org made in Italy, but that's printed in a slightly different place than the genuine. Looking at the back of the boards, there's a noticeable difference. And looking at some photographs of some of the older, like the Arduino Uno revision 2, I think this was the design on the back of the board in an earlier version, but the revision 3, they have changed it to kind of differentiate. So it's got the same connector. We're going to plug it in. And if I jump back here to the IDE, scroll back up there. All right, the Arduino Uno. You look here at the port, and lo and behold, it's reporting that it's a Arduino Uno. So to me, that's a little misleading. I know from where I purchased this board, this was not the genuine made in Italy board. And just switch the camera here, and then I'm going to upload the sketch. And here, we'll switch back here. I'm actually seeing an error. Now that might be because I switched the plugged it in here on the fly while we're doing a demonstration. Just for fun here, I'm going to go ahead and close the IDE, open it back up again. And select the port. And I'm going to click upload. And this time it did actually upload. So I think that error wasn't because of the board. It was because I unplugged it and plugged it in on the fly there, and actually had moved away. Wasn't selecting the right, didn't select the right port, but like I showed before, it is showing that it's a genuine Arduino. So that's going to wrap it up for this show. A little longer than what I usually do, but wanted to get some side-by-side comparisons out there to help people that are shopping and interested in getting a board. Give them some things to consider when shopping around. So I really would recommend one of the compatibles. If you want to spend a little bit more money and get one of the original, that helps support the Arduino community, and so that's always good. So thanks for watching, and click on subscribe there if you want to continue seeing when we put out some new videos. We're going to try to do a video each week, and we're going to pick some more projects to work on and demo here. And stop by and visit the blog, roanokhobby.info, and check out the things that we've been blogging about. And thanks again for watching.